All right, let's bring on the last caller of the day. Big up to the Irish Hotspur. Come on. Dave, how's it going, mate?
Lads, look, the very first fan show I done when I came on, I've been speaking about some of these exact same players. A year and a half later, here we are again.
Yeah, no, absolutely spot on. But do you think it was the right decision from Nuno to leave the 11 at home that he did?
Yeah, I do believe it. I do think so. Look, I think league is our priority. I think when we all qualified for this last season, a lot of us were saying, this is perfect to give the likes of the squad players a run out, the youngsters a run out. And at the end of the day, if the squad players stepped up and helped some of these youngsters, results like this wouldn't happen. Look, at Tottenham Hotspur, we make too many excuses for Dele Alli, Winks, Ben Davies. But look, for me, we've got to stop doing it. We've got to stop making excuses for these players. You heard what Ben Davies said after the game. He blamed the pitch. He blamed the referee. He blamed the crowd for the intimidating atmosphere. He was about to blame my missus, I thought, at some stage. Absolutely. I've had enough of it. There's no accountability. Yet again, I've seen the same pattern now under three managers, under Pochettino, under Jose, and under Nuno, where they're letting the manager come out and take the bullets, and they're the ones that just sit there happy out because they know no matter what, Nuno will go, the next manager will come in and they'll be sitting there again. I'm absolutely fed up with these guys.
But David, you're saying that, don't give these players chances to make the excuses. But how do we do that if we leave 11 men back at home?
No, I get that. I get that. But the thing is, like, we can't. We went down that route last year. Jose ended up going down that route where he was bringing Kane in, a Højbjerg in, a Son in. And ultimately, at the end of the season, we were gassed. We were fucked.
Yeah, that's because Jose didn't work on fitness. That's why.
Yeah, well, that too. That obviously comes to it as well. But, like, the thing is, they're fit now. There's still no improvement with some of these guys. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, our players were gassed out come the end of the season. Yes, fitness issues has to do with it, but the amount of games they were purely asked to play as well was absolutely ridiculous. If we played Kane and Son there today, and one of them got injured for West Ham, people were going absolutely nuts about it, saying he shouldn't have played and they should have been rested.
I get that, but why not take them along for the journey as well? Bring them on for the last 20 minutes if we need a goal. If we had Son and Kane or just one of them coming on today for the last 20 minutes, we might not have lost that game.
Yeah, that I can't argue. Look, maybe when I was thinking about earlier, and yeah, maybe he could have brought some of them on the bench. But at the end of the day, look, we're talking about full internationals out here today. We're talking about full international players playing for some of the biggest nations in world football.
Yeah.
We're talking about full international players, and it's just not good enough. Look, you look back under Pochettino, the Colchester result happened. Ben Davies, Winks, and Ali played. Antwerp last season under Jose Mourinho. Ben Davies, Winks, Dele Alli played. Pacos de Frere at the start of the season. Ben Davies and Harry Winks played in that, same as Lo Celso. Palace, Ben Davies, Harry Winks played. Tonight, Ben Davies, Harry Winks, Dele Alli played. And Dele Alli played against Palace as well. There's a recurring theme here. There's results under three different managers that should not happen, that are actually embarrassing us, the fans, the club, and the whole area as a general. They're actually embarrassing it. The headlines now or tomorrow are going to be all about Tottenham Hotspur. You know what I mean? These players, they will not stand up and take responsibility. Look, I don't blame Harry Winks. I actually blame the board. Look, they allowed him to get stale. That's grand, Harry. You stay there. You take your money. Be quiet. You're going to stay here because you're a homegrown player. We have no ambition to try and bring any other youngsters through, and we're just going to let you sit happy. Dele Alli, look, honestly, that guy is finished at Tottenham Hotspur. I've been saying this for about a year now. He is done at Tottenham Hotspur. With Dele Alli, his best years were when when he was running off Harry Kane, he was getting into the box and Christian Eriksen was feeding him. You do not have someone to do that now. With the decline in form with Christian Eriksen came the decline of Dele Alli, and he hasn't recaptured it since. Look, Ali, for me, if he wants to be playing that number 10, he has to learn how to be creative. He has to learn. At one stage, he got the ball in the middle of the park, right? It was a simple touch and a layoff into Lo Celso as Lo Celso was trying to run out. Ali flicks it and gives away the ball. Now, that is not good enough. That is lazy. That is lazy as far as I'm concerned. It's not good enough. You look at Steven Bergwijn. I'm not really going to get on his case because, in fairness, it's his first game back since August. But at one stage, you're talking, we're 1-0 down, yeah? Their right back dropped to get the ball. Now you're looking at Steven Bergwijn, and he's standing there, and you're like, okay, go and put pressure on him so the keeper has to go along. So it gives you a chance of getting the ball back. What happened to keeper passes to right back to play out? It's not good enough. It's lazy play. It's lazy. You're talking about a full international player there. I don't want people to be making Dane Scarlett the focal point of this or throwing him under the bus. At the end of the day, if our midfield could get into the ball, our defence could actually get a hold of the ball and stop ballooning it long. You're actually giving the kid a chance. You're actually going to give the kid a chance. Today, it was just long ball pumped up after long ball after long ball. You could have played Llorente up there today. You wouldn't have seen much different. You wouldn't have. There's nothing the kid can do. I don't blame Nuno for today. I don't think anybody should blame Nuno for today. You look at the distinct difference between the other day and today. Same formation, just different players. Look at the drop-off in quality. It's not good enough. You go to Ben Davies. This guy has been at Tottenham, has never, ever nailed down the left-back starting spot. He's been here 8 years nearly. 8 years. It's not good enough. We allow these players to get way too comfortable. You're thinking they're looking at, okay, how do I get into the team for West Ham? Or how do I throw my name into the team for all the massive fixtures coming up in December, the hectic fixture schedule? Okay, well, I need to start performing. I need to look at myself. These players won't do that. And Ben Davies is evidence again with what he said after the game.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, David. And it's again another performance where, just remember under Mourinho, when we played Antwerp away, and he rested everyone. A whole bunch of players rested, and then at half time he makes 5 substitutions because he can't stand what he's seeing, and yet we're relying on these same players now, aren't we? Which is really, really difficult. But are there any players tonight who you think maybe not this weekend, because we know who's going to be starting 11, but maybe in the future you think in a first 11 could be part of the team, could break into that first 11?
I think Gill has a very good chance if he can push Lucas Moura on that right-hand side. I think Tanganga, he'll do just fine. Maybe perhaps Joe Rodon, but again, he came out from the very off. He looked rattled. The whole lot looked rattled. At one stage, I seen the cameras pan to Harry Winks, and it looked like he was in the middle of World War II. He's so flustered, and I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, this is 15, 20 minutes in. What's going on? It's not deep day here, Harry Winks. We're in the middle of Holland trying to play a football game. Look, for me, I think, I don't even think Galini. I'm not convinced with that anymore. Ben Davies is a write-off as far as I'm concerned. Rodon, I'm hesitant to write him off. I think Sanchez should go before him. Look, Sanchez, let's be honest with ourselves. He has never developed into the centre-back we thought he could. He just hasn't done it. Today, I don't think he was any good. I thought he was a bit all over the place at times. Tanganga, I think, he's a Tottenham boy. We've seen how much he loves the badge. I think he'll do just fine. Lo Celso, I'll be honest with you, I think he's a write-off. I think Lo Celso...
A write-off, really?
Honestly. I know he had a bit of a good spell under Jose Mourinho for that for a little bit of period, but anytime I see the guy play, he's just erratic. He's erratic on the ball. He's erratic off the ball. There's no composure in him. No composure whatsoever. It doesn't help that he's playing beside, that other idiot, Harry Winks. But the thing is, you even look at the goal they scored, lads. Our defence done the right thing. The ball was coming in. The defence is supposed to drop off and stop anything coming in and around the penalty area and the 6-yard box. Then you're looking at Lo Celso and Winks, your 2 midfielders, to pick up the players on the edge of the box. Where were they? They weren't nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
You look at today why the result happened as well. You look at the difference between Skip and Højbjerg and Lo Celso and Winks today. Skip and Højbjerg, they're proactive in midfield. You never see the opposition players when they're playing get that sort of time on the ball that they had today. You always see them in there trying to turn over the ball. They're constantly putting pressure on the other players in there. And then when they get the ball, they're calm and composed on it. Winks and Lo Celso were all over the shop today. All over the shop. When we didn't have the ball, we gave them time to play whatever they wanted to do. And when we did have the ball, they can't even pass it between them. Dele Alli, crap. Bergwijn, crap. Scarlett, look, too young to be knocking on the first team door. But the situation is what it is. I'd rather him be giving them game time tonight than, say, Carlos Vinicius or a player like that. And Brian Hill, I think, just to answer the question, I think has a chance of getting into the first team.
All right.
All right, David, big up to you and another great pump-up show today. We need some more guests on there next time, but that's partly our fault, not your fault.
There's a super chat for David as well, quickly. It's from William Kelly. Says, exactly, Davey boy. Same players letting us down. Doesn't matter what manager it is. The Deadwood needs gone.
Just quickly, just to answer William Kelly, if I may. Look, the thing is, we talk about Tottenham. We're starving for trophies. We are absolutely hungry for trophies. I would eat my mother's arm just to get a trophy. I really would. But the thing is, how do you expect to go and win a trophy when you can't get through the early preliminary rounds against absolute shit teams. Let's make no mistake about it. Vitesse Arnhem are not a good team. They're not a good team in terms of European football whatsoever. We are a club that was in the Champions League final only a couple of seasons ago. For fuck's sake, no matter what team goes out there tonight, they should be beating them. I grew up watching Harry Kane and Conor Oglive make debuts in the UEFA Cup and putting better performances and more cohesive performances than this. I hear a lot of people saying they're not training together. Of course they're not training together because they're not a first team. You're not going to put all your eggs in one basket and get them as one cohesive unit. No second team in the world ever that goes out and plays trains as a cohesive unit, because the idea is you put them out there and their desire, their passion and their hunger alone and their fight and trying to get into the first team should be enough to get them over the line in these games.
We're still going to qualify from the group, David.
Yeah, of course we are, because we're going to have to drag in, Harry God Kane, Son God, Hyung Min. We're going to have to bring in, Endon Bad Boy to save their asses. I'm sick of it. I'm sure they're sick of it too. I'm sure they're sitting there scratching their head. Here we go again. Unnecessary pressure on the manager, unnecessary pressure on us again heading into the weekend, because these losers, weak, spineless losers, cannot do what they're supposed to do. And there's no excuse for it. These are guys that are in the training ground every single day of the week. Do they put in the extra work? I don't believe it, because if they did, you would see some sort of improvement on the pitch. We are not seeing improvement from a lot of these players at all. And it's about time us as Spurs fans, we stop making excuses for the whole lot of them and lay the blame on their door today. It is solely on them. If you're Nuno, put yourself in Nuno's position. What means more to Spurs fans? Vitesse Arnhem or beating grown men blowing bubbles on Sunday?
Of course, it's beating West Ham, but you got to look at the whole picture. You know what I mean? You got to still put out a team where you think is going to beat Vitesse. And yes, everyone knew with this team out there today that it's you're not going to beat Vitesse with this team. We couldn't have beaten Pacos Ferreira. We're not going to beat Vitesse. So you got to have some of the big guns ready and waiting when it does go wrong, inevitably.
Yeah, that is a fair point, but I still maintain that these are full-grown men. There's 9 full internationals out there. It should be more than enough to get the job done against Vitesse Arnhem. Look, the thing is, there was pressure put on Pochettino when he had to rely on Davies and Winks. When Jose Mourinho had to rely on these guys, the pressure was mounting up on him. And the same is happening to Nuno tonight, purely because of these players. We need to really get to the bottom of it and get to the common denominator, and it's these players. It's not the management right now. It's these players. They are costing us and embarrassing us at every single opportunity they get. And then you have Harry Winks crying, knocking on doors, looking for first-team football. Please play me. If I was a manager, I'd say, fuck off, Harry. Why would I give you a game right now? You don't deserve it. It's not good enough. I'm fed up with it at Tottenham.
But he's going to miss his spot in the Euros or the World Cup. Oh, poor Harry.
Yeah, he'd get in the Bowls World Cup team. Do you know that game Bowls where you throw the ball down? That's it's the only sport he's capable of. Look, I do want to end this off because it's not all negative. That's just my rant on them psychopaths. But it's not all negative, because we do have some great players at this club. We do have a way going forward with that first 11. But that can only carry us so far. Looking at December, it's going to be a long, long month, and we do need to see improvement from the likes of these guys out here today to be able to chip in. 17 days, 7 games. That is from the 2nd of December to the 19th. That is a lot of games in a short space of time. But look, if the big guns can keep going the way they're going, let them do their job. Let's get it to January, and then we need to call on Baldy and Baldy up there, to start doing their job in the January transfer market and make the funds available to be able to help these guys.
Absolutely spot on, Dave. Thanks for coming on as always, and thanks for another great show today as well. So we'll see you next time.
Nice one, Dave.
Yeah, look, make sure everybody tunes in for the West Ham one. I will be in flying form. I'll have plenty of jokes for all them guys, believe me. And look, maybe it was the time of the day it was at today with people coming home late from work and everything else or whatever. But guys, I want to see you guys on Sunday. Full voice, full clubber on, ready to go, and let's get behind the boys. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Yes, come on, you Spurs.
See you later, man.
See you, lads.